place has, this attack massacre has impact beyond Pahalgam and beyond Kashmir also. When Kashmir is living with a shutdown, complete shutdown. And even appeals were made from the mosques to observe shutdown and protest against this massacre. I have never seen happening like this before, because everyone feels to be shocked. I am in Pahalgam, not a single shop is open today. Complete. It is a ghost town since yesterday afternoon. There's a sense of disbelief. Home Minister meeting the victim families, the relatives of the victims, clearly sending a message that it's not just your loss, it is a collective loss. And there has to be a collective resolve to fight it. So what would be that fight be? Prime Minister, that maybe there would be some indication after the end of Cabinet Committee on Security meeting that would be chaired by the Prime Minister. And it's the second time after Pulwama attack, we see this type of meeting happening soon after the attack. So, but here in the valley, everybody is seeing how this can be ended, because when everybody was thinking valley is now free from militancy, all-time low, whole focus was on Jammu. We saw here in Pahalgam, terror struck here and killed 26 and injured 17. Condition of some of the injured is stated to be critical. And anti-counter-terror operation is underway in Bison Forest just behind me. I could show you. This is the forest area between two forest ridges is Bison Valley, where these tourists were enjoying in the breathtaking beauty, but terror cast its shadow on that breathtaking beauty, took the innocent lives. And there was one local from Pahalgam, Sayyid Adil Hussain Shah, who resisted terror, who fought back and was killed. He was the only Muslim. All others were killed because of their name, because of who they were. So that is the kind of not just a killing, but also a hate crime in that way. So, but here Sayyid Adil Hussain, he gave his life while trying to save innocent tourists, and who are hearing, even tried to snatch rifle from the people. And then we saw the response when you hear from the mosque, just asking people to observe shutdown. It is first time people rejecting terror, rejecting this sort of senseless violence, and sending a message. And as we have been reporting, the symptom may be here, but the problem is somewhere else. Last week, what Pakistani Army chief said, talked about two-nation theory, talking about Kashmir being jugular way, talked about that how they support those who are fighting what he called Indian occupation in Kashmir. So clearly, a week after we saw this attack, and our sources tell us, for last 4 days, police were carrying multiple operations in South Kashmir because they had an input there is going to be some sort of attack. But Pahalgam was off the radar. Nobody thought there would be such an attack, because Pahalgam has a security ring always there, because it's not just a very popular tourist destination, it's also the base camp of Amarnath Yatra, and Yatra is just 2 months away. And as Home Minister wrapped up meeting the victim families, their relatives, and also paying homage and laying wreath at the mortal remains of the victims, he is coming to Pahalgam, also visiting the attack site, also, and meeting the security forces. So there's a multi-pronged approach at multiple levels to deal with the situation. But clearly, people have to be on the side of the government when it comes to dealing with terror, while elected government in Jammu and Kashmir has no role in law and order and security. But Chief Minister Umar Abdullah was part of the meeting yesterday, which was called by Home Minister soon after he reached Srinagar. So clearly, it appears that the central government wants to take elected government on board when it comes to the dealing with this situation, the aftermath of this attack. But then a larger focus now shifts to Delhi, what would happen in the meeting of Cabinet Committee on Security.
Well, and we'll only report what we know so far, and our team can take a note of it. The top sources have just communicated to us that the CCS will likely to be held at 6 p.m. And the reason behind that is Amit Shah, who is at the spot over there. The CCS wants first-hand information from the Home Minister, who had visited the spot and also met the victims over there. So at 6 p.m. most probably now, the top sources have just communicated to us that it will take place. They are giving time for each and every agency to take the note of the situation and can report to the Prime Minister, who will be chairing this meeting. Secondly, the government who has the zero tolerance policy towards terrorism, the government is in a view that they might call the all-party meeting very soon to take the entire opposition into the consideration, as far as one cabinet minister, one very senior rank cabinet minister, will be handed over the responsibility to take the entire opposition together, and the government could give a brief on what action they are thinking to plan against those terrorists who India wanted to completely exclude. Apart from it, it is of course very soon the government who can also brief the entire opposition and call an all-party meeting. So these are two major updates. Prime Minister Narendra Modi since morning is constantly monitoring the situation, with top ministers briefing him on every point of stage.